It is indeed a mad, 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 mad world. Now, that reminded me, that sketch, or what we just saw, of an old Dave Allen joke, which I thought would be the perfect contender for my challenge to see if I can do a woke joke and make it funny. So first, let's get the non-woke joke from the 1970s.
I was talking to a man the other day who was leaving, decided to immigrate, decided to leave this country. And I said, why are you leaving? He said, it's homosexuality. I said, what are you talking about? He said, 300 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged, drawn, and quartered. 100 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were hanged. 50 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were flogged and given 20 years in prison. 20 years ago, if you were homosexual, you were fined £200 and sent to prison for 2 years. 5 years ago, if you were homosexual, you had a small fine and you were pardoned. Got off with a warning. I said, well, what are you leaving for? He said, I'm going before they make it compulsory.
Okay, so here's the challenge. I'll try to retell that gag using woke language only. So here goes. The other day, my friend told me that he had decided to leave the country. When I asked why, he said, well, it's about gender diversity. And I said, what about it? And he said, well, 300 years ago, if you were gender diverse, you were oppressed. 100 years ago, if you were gender diverse, you were oppressed. 50 years ago, if you were gender diverse, you were oppressed. 20 years ago, if you were gender diverse, you were oppressed. 5 years ago, if you were gender diverse, you were oppressed. And today, if you are gender diverse, you are oppressed. Doesn't work, does it? What has wokeness done to humour? Anyway, let's go back to the cults I was talking about. I was a little taken aback by this bizarre mechanical bull that was the mascot of the recent Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. That is now, the mechanical bull, is now on permanent display. You don't need to have studied the Old Testament or ancient myths to find a fire-breathing bull being worshipped by Vestal virgins slightly off in the old symbolism stakes. Personally, give me the Sydney 2000 Olympics opening ceremony any day of the week. Some of the best days of our lives. That glorious September, back at the turn of the century, Australia and Australians at our absolute finest. Kathy Freeman, all our swimmers. John Howard was the Prime Minister. Nikki Webster flying across the skies. Will Australia ever again be so united, so happy, so committed, so friendly? Nations go through good times, they go through bad times. Much of it comes down to political leadership. Politicians and prime ministers who choose the right words and echo the right sentiments, not for political gain or focus group research ratings, but out of genuine commitment and love of their country and its people. Is Albo such a leader? I never write anyone off, unless, of course, it's Kevin Rudd or Malcolm Turnbull. But hey, Albo better pull his socks up. Is Donald Trump the leader to put America back on track again? His latest video certainly makes it clear that he thinks he is, and makes it pretty clear he intends to run again. Many people, of course, simply write Trump and his Make America Great Again campaign off as a right-wing populist cult. I'm not so sure.
We will not bend, we will not break, we will not yield, ever, ever, ever. We will never give in, we will never give up, and we will never, ever back down. We will never let you down as long as we are confident and united. The tyrants we are fighting do not stand even a little chance. Because we are Americans, and Americans kneel to God and God alone. And it is time to start talking about greatness for our country again.